Welcome to the White Wall Sessions Radio. I'm your host, Dan Schaefer. On this week's episode, we feature Ryne Doughty and Remember to Breathe. If you'd like to know more about the artists on the show, visit thewhitewallsessions.com for features, links, and videos. Ryne Doughty is an Americana singer-songwriter based out of Des Moines, Iowa. Ryne's smooth vocals, coupled with a comprehensive finger-picking style, make his music an enjoyable experience.
Crosses a canyon, which is really only a crack. A relative perception is something I have never lacked. Hey, the lonesome lucid dreamer, he sleeps all day long, while the tired tortured poet, he pins another song. Down along the lakeside on a cold and windy day, yeah, the transient man shakes his cane as they walk along the way. Ain't it funny? Ain't it sad? Some is good, some is bad. Storefront window on a dozen TV screens, I see the head comb so straight on the most crooked man I've seen. And there's a single brick bulging on an old historic street, worn smooth from cars and wagons and flattened by fattened feet. Now the cold, crisp air, it brings summer to an end. It brings comfort to the cozy, but to the cold, this offense. Ain't it funny? Ain't it sad? Some is good, some is bad. Cause he can no longer stand, with tear streaks in his makeup and a bottle in his hand. He like an elk up in the mountains with the snow-covered fur. Of time he has no concept, it's all just a blistering blur. Ain't it funny? Ain't it sad? Some is good, some is bad. Ain't it funny? Ain't it sad? Some is good, some is bad. Oh, thank you. I'm looking for a drummer who will double as my driver, triple as my psychiatrist. Whoa, he must prescribe the pills, all the uppers and the downers, the cotton clouds and the mystic valley mist. The far and wide, the far and wide, I am searching far and wide. I will get you, I'll catch you, I mainly trap you. I'm searching far and wide for you. I'm searching for salvation way out here in the mountains. Find it every once in a while. But no matter where you run to, your fear can still creep into your blood and brains. Wipe away your smile. The far and wide, the far and wide, I'm searching far and wide. I will get you, I'll catch you, I humanly trap you. I'm searching far and wide for you. I'm pining for Paul Bunyan, that Minnesota cabin on one of those 10,000 lakes. But they say time travel's impossible and my head's full of pipe dreams. But I'm willing to do what it takes. Far and wide, far and wide, I'm searching far and wide. I will get you, I'll catch you, I humanly trap you. I'm searching far and wide, far and wide, far and wide. I'm searching far and wide. I will get you, I'll catch you, I humanly trap you. I'm searching far and wide for you. Thank you. Wind comes and whispers in my sleeping ear, to wake up and run and the message is clear. To spread my wings and take the first flight, now to follow your heart and leave it at night. I've got the spirit of a peaceful dove, but I've come to find I'm no good at love. I've come to find I'm no good at love. destroying me. I got to remain numb in her company. The bottle's always empty, though she thinks it's full. The switchblade with sharp knives, rusty low. You can push all you want, you can even shove, but I've come to find I'm no good at love. I've come to find I'm no good at love. Look in the mirror in this cheap motel with my hands on the sink, and I know it too well that it ain't in the cards for me to settle down. Maybe I'll find that different in the next lonesome town. Maybe it's in my blood or the stars up above, but I've come to find I'm no good at love. I've come to find I'm no good at love. I've got the spirit of a peaceful dove, but I've come to find I'm no good at love. I've come to find I'm no good at love. I've come to find I'm no good at love. Sweet, thank you.
Remember to Breathe is a three-piece pop-punk band based out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The band is Adele Toy on guitar and vocals, Donnie Miner on bass guitar and vocals, and Zane Lodmo on drums. Remember to Breathe released their latest album, Lessons on Getting Out and Growing Up, in the fall of 2017 on local-based record label Loud, Broke, and Dumb Records.
Now drinks on the floor. It's not where I wanted to be. Oh no, no, no. Where she goes is not where I wanted to be. Oh no, no, no. Where she goes is not where I wanted to be. Repercussions hit hard, you'll go far. Setting up an impossible bar. You shocked us all. Surprise I call. And now you're running like a fly on a wall. Poison gas in my lungs. Not having fun. She's bending like a hurricane tree. Coming in for the wind. Spiders for skin. It's not where I wanted to be. Oh no, no, no. Where she goes is not where I wanted to be. Oh no, no, no. Where she goes is not where I wanted to be. Da 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 da. Oh no, no, no. Where she goes is not where I wanted to be. Oh no, no, no. Where she goes is not where I wanted to be. Oh no, no, no. Where she goes is not what I wanted to say. Oh no, no, no. Where she goes is not where I wanted to be. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been playing for a while, and then I never really got into, like, I played in a metal band, but I never really got into like the technical aspects of it. It's kind of the songwriting that I love. So
Yeah. Well, you've got a telly with a Union Jack pickguard on.
yeah,
Did you
yeah,
put
kind
that
of,
on?
kind of with different colors. But no, my wonderful girlfriend did that for me. So
That looks really cool. Does that say something about the influence of your songwriting? The British punk stuff or American punk or?
American punk for sure. Like like Green Day, you know.
Yeah.
American Idiot was pretty big for me back in the day. So
Sure. Rest of the other guys, what kind of music you listen to?
Oh gosh, it's changed so much over the years, you know. But that's obviously we definitely bring in those pop punk influences into our music, you know, because those are some of our most loved bands that we all kind of have in common. But the coolest part about our dynamics is we all listen to separate stuff too. You know, Adele listens to heavier stuff, and he also started as an acoustic project, so we get that beautiful melodies and songwritings in our songs.
And Zane's got his prog influence there, and stuff like Biffy Clyro, where it's like technical time change stuff, and then
Wow.
and then I don't know. I guess I'm more into just kind of the edgier, raw garage punk type stuff.
Sure.
So,
Well, I gotta say, I mean, pop punk, melodic punk, whatever you want to call it, seems like it's kind of DIY and fast and loud, but there's a lot going on there, particularly vocals. I mean, it's hard to do vocals, sort of that high yell. Is that where you started? You said you played in a metal band. Is that where it came from?
Maybe, I think it came more from like the acoustic stuff, where it's kind of like the emo kind of 90s scene where you just have a guitar and you're screaming, you know? So that's kind of where that comes from. And then I kind of made it a little bit more smooth around the edges a little bit. So
It's got a good sound. It fits the music for sure. Donnie, where'd your vocals come?
I mean, I've been involved in choirs pretty much all my life, aside from this last year. I was in the concert chorale at USF, and I can sing bass 2 and tenor 1, but I don't have a middle range there. So the tenor range comes from wanting to sing like the pop punk bands I was into in high school, and the bass range just comes from that's my natural voice. Yeah. So I kind of like to do more shouty stuff, especially because lately, personally, I've been just getting in more, like I said, more of that raw stuff. I've been really like listening to like Jeff Rosenstock and like, you know, older Green Day and stuff like that, and that's really kind of helped me influence adding a little bit of a gruff, a little bit of grit to my voice, which helps me bring out more of a mid-range vocal. I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds good because you guys are doing that sort of high thing, and then Zane, you come in with a you know, sort of the chorus stuff that.
Just lots of backups. I remember the first song they had me do backups on was one of our singles from our EP before this latest release, called Brand New, and I remember I have in our earlier shows almost blacked out several times doing those. So I'm glad though that they kept pushing me. They kept giving me stuff. Hey, Adele kept coming to me and, you know, do these backup vocals, do these here, and, you know, I've gotten a lot better at singing and playing drums at the same time, which is rough.
And I mean, you write some lyrics too as well. You wrote the verses to Ear to Ear, and
I don't like to take credit for those, but you know.
Well, let's talk about that. How do the songs come about for this band?
They kind of come from like me coming up with the skeletons of songs, and then I kind of like, hey, this is a cool idea, and then they kind of like put their own little things into it, especially with like Zane's drumming. I'm not a good drummer. I can't do that at all. So
much galloping on piano tracks.
Yeah, those come from the metal part of me. Anyway. And then, Donnie brings in, you know, vocals. He's like, here, let me try this, you know, and then that's kind of where the dual vocals comes in.
So do you come with an idea or a full song to the band?
It depends, honestly, with what song it is. I can't really say. It would probably be 50-50.
And there's those other times, too, where we're all, you know, in the middle of practice, and then Adele starts doing a little riff or Zane starts doing a beat, and we all kind of join in and we just make something up. And sometimes it's just a little interlude, and sometimes it ends up becoming a full-fledged song that we're just like, you know, this sounds good. Let's play it again. Let's mess around with some melodies. You know, I'll just sing some like non-word melodies, and it'll eventually start to just come together organically like that. But no, Adele is an awesome songwriter, and it's really cool whenever he comes and he's like, I got this idea for this whole full-fledged song. Now let's just see what we can do with it.
You know, he can pump them out. And what's funny is a lot of our songs actually kind of start as little 8-bit, like I call them Nintendo 64 video game soundtracks. And, you know, with like 8-bit guitars and stuff like that, you know, he uses this program. But, you know, and it's I think it's almost more fun starting from there because, you know, it is such a skeletal song in the beginning, you know, and it's not, you know, our real guitars playing and the real drum set and then having that all come together. I think we have a lot of room to change things still while we're writing songs. So
well, the songs are high energy, you know, come at you. Is that how you see them when you write them, or do you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to write that way.
I probably disagree. I don't know. I think it's easy. I think it comes easy. I just wanna play, you know, in a pop punk band. I wanna have that energy. I wanna bring in energy to a room and that vibe, you know, and I wanna see people moving.
Mm-hmm. So does the energy come before the lyrics?
Yes, 100%. Most of the lyrics actually come after. A lot of it is.
We've had a few lyrics that we've written during a recording session, or like in the evening before we have to record it. We're kind of like, all right, we need to finalize the lyrics. Yeah. Let's see what we got.
When we're writing songs, I know both of these guys will kind of, if they don't have words in mind, they'll kind of have a melody in mind, and we'll just do like a na 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 na. That's the verse.
Or just make up words. Half the time, the lyrics are just like, I suck at singing songs, just with a melody.
But you're looking for that particular phonic to land on that.
Yeah. Looking for a nice hook to throw in there.
Yeah. So I guess that makes sense now that you say that, because you're looking for the music to be the personality of the song. Yeah. That's not necessarily the lyrics, but sometimes the lyrics are. I mean, sometimes, you know, we rack our brains together and we come up with some good lyrics, and that's sometimes then the lyrics become the song. But yeah, it's definitely the music before. Interesting.
Let's be 16 again. You complain about the leg room in my 97. Camaro. 'Cause it's been 5 years since we snuck out through this window. Forgot about all our friends. No, 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 no. I've been losing track of all these damn setbacks. I've been steering clear of you out of fear, but I can't keep living like I don't know who you are. It gets better, I swear. I'll get better, I swear. So let's be 16 again and dream about the legroom in my 97 Camaro. 'Cause it's been 5 years since we snuck out through my window. Forgot about all our friends. No, 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 no. Keep on keeping on. That's where my head's been racked and waited, so calculated. Happy birthday, sorry it's belated. I don't quite get growing up, but I get getting out. It gets better, I swear. I'll get better, I swear. So let's be 16 again and dream about the legroom in my 97 Camaro. 'Cause it's been 5 years since you snuck out through my window. Forgot about all our friends. No, 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 no,
Third time's a charm, man.
So your albums, let's talk about those. You mentioned earlier an EP, which was kind of an Adele project, right?
Yeah, I guess. So when I moved back from Los Angeles, because I lived there for a year for school, I kind of wanted to start up the band again. So I started doing some writing and some scouting for people. And I ended up finding Donnie on Craigslist. And like at that point, the album was kind of like halfway complete without like, there was like some empty spaces. So yeah, it was kind of like my little baby. And then they kind of came in and, like I said, made it our own.
Yeah. Well, you didn't mention Lost in Neverland either. The first release that was,
I guess, yeah, our first
just
release.
you when you were in high school.
Yeah, that's true. And that was kind of back when I started with acoustic music. I kind of wanted to do a full band type of thing, so I went into the studio and did everything. And then, yeah, it kind of didn't go anywhere. Didn't really do anything with it, but that's
I
all
still
right.
stand by my statement that it is a solid emo album.
Well, thanks, man.
But yeah, and then when I had joined, we were working on an EP, and we had a different drummer, and it was 4 days before our first show, or 10 days before our first show in April of 2015, and we get to our practice space, and his drums are just gone. And we're like, what? Like, what are we going to do? And he just apparently decided to quit the band. But Zane and I had lived together through college, and he always wanted to come see our shows and be a part of the band, and I was like, hey, we need you to fill in for this show and possibly for good. Do you want to do it? And he learned all of our songs in like 10 days, and we even learned extra songs.
Wow, that's pretty good.
That became Recovery, our EP that came out in the end of 2015. And then, last year we put out an album that we were working on like straight away, like right after when Recovery came out, we did the release show. We already were playing Define You, which is off of the album that came out a whole year later. So we were just kind of ready to start doing something as just the three of us rather than it was kind of piecey because the EP still had pieces of our former drummer stuff. And Alex was on the EP, which he added a great amount of stuff to that.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Alex also write Monica off
Yes.
of Lessons? Like, you
Yeah.
know, so,
Yeah.
you know, it's crazy how long we've had some of these songs and they've gone on this album, you know, that's been, you know, a little over a year in the making.
Alex has some great sounding guitar on the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So the album is Lessons in Getting Out and Growing Up.
Yep.
Nice. Where did you record that? Didn't you do that with our buddy Brian Hoffman on Loud Broken Dumb?
Yeah, we released it through Loud Broken Dumb, but actually the record making process kind of was in my basement, just kind of
really?
slaving over the songs.
We planned to
and stuff.
do a studio, but,
Yeah,
you know,
we-
everything kind of fell through. And
Yeah, it just kind of made more sense, I guess, because we knew that we had a timetable that we wanted to record it and get it done with, and things just weren't working out. So we decided to do it like in house and did it in 1 week?
Yeah, no, well, I think it was we had a total of 10 days we had all taken off of work because we were going to go to Minneapolis to work with the producer and all that.
Yeah.
And we ended up just spending those 10 days in the basement recording and just
Going crazy.
getting it out there. And then we ended up not even, we released it in October, but we didn't get the physical CDs until about a few months ago there. Just because there was an issue with our label as well with the website they're getting CDs from too. So this album has just been kind of now that it's
learning
out, it's
process.
been great. Yeah, it's been a learning process. And now that it's out, it's great. But
Yeah, feels good.
we were definitely worried for a while that it may not happen or maybe longer.
So how is the studio basically a different version or a recorded version of your live show, or do you change that up in there? I mean,
I think we change it up. I think we bring new things to the live show. We definitely a little bit more than we did here. We like to riff a little bit more. We definitely like come up with like some like instrumental like intros to songs and stuff.
oh yeah.
So
Kinda
like,
little
we
improv.
definitely love the jam. So
Yeah.
You know, I know even since we've, you know, released this album too, a lot of some of my drum fills and certain drum parts have changed, you know. So the songs are always kind of a work in progress. And you know, my favorite part about seeing bands is seeing them play live. So, you know, and it's always cool to be able to listen to the record and then go see a band live and not be the exact same thing, you know.
And we have a lot of layers on our album as well.
maybe tomorrow was
Maybe tomorrow.
like-
How many tracks was maybe tomorrow?
like 40 or 50, something like
Just
that.
with
It was
the
in that
multiple
range.
guitar, acoustic guitar.
Yeah, I did. I kind of went crazy with the production on that one.
Yeah, we just. I think that was the fun part too, is that we got to just do production stuff because you did almost all of Recovery, and then we kind of got to mess around with a little bit when recording the album and just learning about production in general. It's
Yeah.
And we
been
do
nice.
have to thank his mom because the studio is in her basement. And we're just driving her crazy all the time.
Yeah.
Just playing these bad songs.
10 days straight.
Oh, your mother's an angel, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
So I want to go back to something you said. Y'all are from Sioux Falls, right?
Correct.
yes.
But you said you went to Los Angeles, Adele?
Yeah, for a year I tried to do like I went to the Art Institute out there for a little bit.
Okay.
So
And did you know these guys? You two grew up together basically since you were 10, you said?
Pretty much.
And
Yeah.
did you know these guys at all? No, you found them in Craigslist.
yeah, I found him on Craigslist.
Found
Yeah.
him on
Yep.
Craigslist,
Yeah.
and then,
then
by
he-
association, I
Alex
got roped
also
into
came
this.
to us through Craigslist as well.
Yeah.
You should write a song about that.
We have a song, the first one we played.
We only exist because of Craigslist.
So tell me about your live show. Where do you play? Or you play at Total Drag in Sioux Falls? Or have you played other places?
Yeah, Icon.
That used to be a really
Biggs.
weird icon. Pecans.
Big Sports Bar and Grill. We play it a lot. Total Drag is actually where we got our start.
Yeah.
We've played at
Black Hills Vinyl and Rapid is a place that
Oh,
we play.
yeah?
We've played before, and we love going to Rapid. They
Yeah.
have a really great
That's so
crowd
much
out
fun.
there.
Latitude 44. It's now Fernson Brewing, but we played
Oh,
there.
yeah.
So
That's right.
Latitude
like
was one of our
3
favorite
times.
places.
Latitude 44 was just such a jam of this time.
yeah,
It's too bad
definitely.
it's not
Yeah.
there. I mean, Fernson is not quite Latitude 44. It's just different, different.
Well,
feel.
they do different music there too. So we would go in there and we'd like blow up the place with our with our loudness, and so that's not really their vibe anymore. So whatever.
And Rapid City has got a great music. So you say you've played out there and you like that. So what are you planning on doing for albums? Are you set now with the last one, or are you going to do another one soon?
We're 100% going to do another
Yeah.
one.
No, we've already written
more
some new
after
stuff.
that.
New stuff for sure.
I don't know. I think maybe within the next year or so. we'll probably start announcing some stuff. But
We kind of want to try
Nothing
to
yet.
tour for this most recent release a little
Yeah.
bit first, get a little more
Get some music
exposure out
videos,
there.
Yeah,
more
yeah.
music videos made, and just kind of
Yeah.
promote it as much as we can, and then
Since
we
it's
hope
all
we can.
DIY, yeah, it kind of moves
Yeah.
a little slow sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
yeah,
So
we
you're
love
actually-
songwriting, so I mean, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. You're actually thinkers. You're planning it out. That's really cool. With young guys like that. Sorry, I just had to.
It's all right.
Thank you. No.
So you're holding this fellow person named Wilhelm. This is for people on the radio and the podcast. It's a stuffed doll.
Scary little
Little
Dutch boy doll with no face.
Covering his face with his hands.
He
and
seems to be a fourth member or fifth member of the band.
It's like a mascot. It's like a mascot.
He's at
yeah.
every show, just hidden somewhere. It's kind of like, where's Waldo? You're like, where's Wilhelm?
Our most recent album, he's actually hidden. I don't want to tell you where, but somewhere on the CD. You can just barely see him. But
He's our hype man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you wanted to have a little history on him, quick.
I do,
You know, the crazy thing about him was he belonged to my grandmother, Darlene Thompson, for years. And I remember growing up, it had shoes, and he would always stand up in a corner in her house somewhere with his face facing the wall, and it was the scariest thing. And we were never allowed to touch it. She was just, don't touch it. And she was a scary lady when she got stern, so we didn't. And then she passed away, unfortunately, a few years ago when we were I was pretty much just joining the band. And I remember going through her house and seeing it for the first time in my life as an adult, 18 years old. I touched this thing. And I turned around and it had no face. And I was like, ah! So I needed it to be a mascot. And I know that, she would love to see it at our shows too. So, it's kind of a little...
Maybe not. Should have been like, why are you touching it?
Yeah. Don't touch it!
He's still got his face in his hands, but
He's shy.
pretty
He's
cool.
very
So
scary.
We need to
that's a
get him
good
some
story.
new
I
shoes.
like that. Thank you. So he's at your live show, all your live shows.
Yes.
What's the biggest
Unless we
shows you've
forget
played? What's that?
Unless we forget him. Which
Yeah, we've
kinda-
forgotten him a couple times.
Now I don't want to go.
If you'd like to know more about the artists we feature, visit thewhitewallsessions.com. The White Wall Sessions Radio is recorded and produced at Last Stop Studios in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Last Stop Studios is located in the lower level of the Last Stop CD shop at 2121 East 10th Street in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Executive producers are Jeff Zuger and Doug Taylor. Head of broadcast engineering is Dave Palmer. Audio technicians are Chad Conrad, Carl Koiser, and Dave Palmer. Audio mixing is Chad Conrad. Associate producer is Michael Yeager. Scheduling and sales is Tom Eisner. I'm your host, Dan Schaefer. Join us again next week for another edition of the White Wall Sessions Radio.